The story of Itachi Uchiha is like a book of intertwined tragedies, where each page reveals a new burden he carries on his already tired shoulders. The tragic massacre of his own clan is the turning point, the chapter that irreversibly changes the course of his life. In the shadows of that fateful night, where the blood of the Uchihas stained the soil of Konoha, a new Itachi was born, a man marked by pain, by the unbearable weight of guilt and remorse. This dark event not only defined his trajectory, but also ignited a burning flame within him, a desperate search for redemption. The sacrifice Itachi made, in becoming the monster he chose to be in the eyes of the world, was a desperate attempt to protect what was left of his village and, paradoxically, his own clan. He carried the burden of being a hero disguised as a villain, condemned to walk through the shadows to preserve the light he himself extinguished. But it was in the solitude of his thoughts, in the endless nights when memories of the past haunted him, that Itachi faced his greatest enemy, the weight of his own choices. Every life lost in that fateful event echoed like a deafening echo in his mind, every familiar face turning into ghosts that would haunt him forever. However, it is precisely in this abyss of pain and despair that the seed of repentance finds fertile soil. Itachi's journey is not just a search for redemption in the eyes of others, but an internal search for peace that can only be found in acceptance and forgiveness of oneself. Thus, the massacre of the Uchiha clan becomes more than a tragedy, it is the catalyst for an existential journey, where the darkness of the past meets the light of regret. It's a story of sacrifice and suffering, yes, but it's also a story of hope, the hope that, even in the depths of hopelessness, redemption can still be found. Both in Itachi's story and in biblical teachings, we are faced with a fundamental question: is there a limit to repentance? Itachi Uchiha was a man torn between the weight of his decisions and the hope of redemption. Even surrounded by the darkest and most desperate circumstances, he never abandoned the belief that he could still find his way to the light. The burden Itachi carried was immeasurable. Every step he took was marked by the weight of lives lost, by the consequences of his own choices. Yet in the midst of this darkness, he found a spark of hope, a soft voice that whispered that there was still a chance to do what was right. This hope drove him, even when the world around him condemned him. He faced the looks of distrust and judgment from others, aware that his quest for redemption might seem incomprehensible to many. But Itachi remained steadfast, guided by the conviction that true greatness does not lie in blind acceptance of others' expectations, but rather in the courage to follow the call of one's own conscience. His journey was a constant battle against inner demons, a struggle to reconcile the mistakes of the past with the possibility of a better future. Even when the darkness seemed to swallow him whole, Itachi persisted, seeking redemption not only for himself, but also for those he loved and those he had hurt. It is this persistence, this unwavering determination, that truly defines Itachi's greatness. He was not only a man shaped by suffering, but also a symbol of hope and redemption. His journey reminds us that even in the darkest moments, there is always a light that can guide us back to the path of truth and justice. And it is this hope that allows us to believe that no matter how deep the abyss, there is always an opportunity for redemption. Likewise, the message of the Bible is one of hope and renewal. She assures us that as long as there is life, there is room for repentance and transformation. The limits of repentance, therefore, are delineated not by past actions, but by the willingness of the human heart to turn to God for forgiveness and restoration. Just like Itachi, each of us faces our own internal battles, our own moments of choice and consequence. However, Itachi's story reminds us that even in the depths of darkness, the light of redemption can still shine. Repentance can be a painful and challenging process, but its promise of renewal and forgiveness is eternal. If you like the content and want to help us continue, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment or suggestion about a book, film, series, anime that you want to see analyzed on the channel.